YouTube channel. So I know you guys are probably at home, you know, with like hairy underarms and hairy lips and hairy bikini lines, vaginas and stuff like that. So today I'm going to do a little tutorial on how I wax my own underarms at home. I already have a video up on my channel about it, but I wasn't really talking through it, so I just did it. So I thought maybe I should kind of talk through it this time. So I'm just going to kind of get into it. First, I have like some baby oil, and I actually have a lot of hair this time. Like last time I really didn't have a lot of hair. You couldn't really tell see there, but this time I have a lot of hair. So I'm just gonna wipe down. I already cleansed my underarms. My underarms are already cleansed, but if your underarms have like deodorant or something under, you have to remove that first, and then you go ahead and use your oil. The oil is going to help to protect your skin between create a barrier between the skin and the wax, so that the wax doesn't pull your skin too much. A little bit of oil. You don't want to use a lot of oil, because if you use too much oil, the wax won't stick. And then I'm just going to use some cornstarch. And this is just like dab it to kind of like soak up that oil. I'm actually going to be waxing everything today, but I'm just going to show the underarms because everything else is like a little too invasive for YouTube. And then, I mean, maybe I'll show my lip too, but I just think the underarms is like something that like most people, because if you wax your lip wrong, you can break out. So I really recommend just probably going to a professional for like your lip and your like bikini area. But I always tell people like underarms, you could literally do it yourself if your hair is already trained, like if your hair is already thin. If your hair is really thick and it's your first time and you really never waxed before, then you might want to go to a professional first so that they could train it, and then you could probably just maintain it on yourself at home. Because the thing with waxing is you gotta let it grow out long enough. You can literally wax your own underarms. It's really not that hard if you have trained hair. If your hair is untrained, then it's going to be a lot harder. It's not going to come up as easy. This is going to be really easy for me because my hair is trained all over. But if you are somebody who doesn't really have trained hair, it's going to be a little harder for you. So first, I always go, because I know which way my hair grows, I always go up first. So I take the wax and I just, a lot of pressure, and I go up. This is just the way I do me, because I know which way my hair grows. If I was waxing somebody else, I would do it in the direction that their hair grows, but because I wax my underarms myself, my hair just really grows in the way that I wax it. So that's why I go up. So you could just kind of look at your underarms and determine which way your hair grows. If you can't really tell, then you would start down first. Like normally, like most people just start down first. I always start up because that's just the way I've been waxing my underarms. So but if you can't really tell, then just start down first and then do your cleanup. So I'll just pull my skin really taut here, and I just do and I just give myself a little pressure, and then I don't know, you can't really see it. Oh, you can see it. Yeah, all that hair came off in just the one strip up. And the way I could really tell that the hair came off good is because there's like a little the hair follicle, a little black ball at the end. That means that the hair came out straight from the root, and it didn't break. Because when the hair breaks, that means that it's just going to grow back a lot sooner. And I got most of it up in that one strip because I went up first. Now I'm just going to go down. This is like my cleanup. Again, my wax strip right now is not going to be perfect because I'm doing it myself. It's kind of difficult to wax. One side for me is a little more difficult than the other. Of course, you don't double dip. If you are a professional, we don't double dip, but I don't use this wax pot on anybody but myself. And if I was to wax somebody else, I have another wax pot, and I would use that for them. So I have my own personal wax pot, and I have another wax pot just in case like a friend or a family member or somebody wants to get waxed real quick. I have a wax pot for that too. So never double dip, never use like a stick. Yeah, so this is the cleanup. Okay, cleanup. It was just like literally like 3 hairs on that. The cleanup was easy, but I'm gonna move the camera a little bit closer. As you can see, got up all that hair. And then this is the other arm. The hair, it's like, my hair is really faint. My hair goes in really faint just because of the fact that I wax once a month. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with, now this is my other, this is my other side, so it's a little bit harder for me to use. My left hand, like I said, it's not gonna be super easy, okay? But it can be done. And this is my left hand, and I'm right-handed, so. The most important thing is to just make sure that you're like applying a good amount of pressure so that you can kind of get it up in 2 strips. You know, like I said, if your hair is not as trained as mine, it's not going to come up in 2 strips. It's probably going to take 3 strips, you know, like 2 main strips and then like a cleanup, or like 3 main strips and like a cleanup. But if the hair doesn't come up, don't go over it too many times. If your skin starts to get irritated, or you know, just like if it starts becoming a little raw, then you definitely want to stop. I don't even, like me personally, I wouldn't go over my skin more than 3 times. You know, if it doesn't come up like within 3 strips, it's probably not long enough, and you probably should just wait a little longer, let it grow out a little longer. If you do 3 strips and there's still little hairs left, instead of just doing a big strip, you could just probably go in and tweeze like the rest, because this side always hurts more for me. Oh my god. Yeah, so I try to get it in like one pull. Like instead of like I try to do it in one pull so that it's less painful. This arm is always the hardest. I only really wax my own underarms in like emergencies. Like I would rather, you know, or like if I just can't get to somebody, I would rather somebody else wax me, honestly, because it's just easier. But I can wax myself if I have to. Okay, so this is the down. This is the cleanup. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, yeah, I would just much rather have somebody else wax me. All right. See? So this one I always have to do more than 2, just because I can't lay it perfectly because I'm using my left hand. So I'm just gonna do one more cleanup, and then my cleanup is gonna go up again. So my last cleanup, like I said, I don't do more than like 3 strips. My last cleanup is going to go upward. And this is me and my technique. Every waxer is different. Every technique is different. Every hair pattern and texture is different. So this works for me. You know, if you are a waxer and you wax differently, that's okay. Because, you know, that works for you and you're different than I am. This works for me and this is how I do it. And I do tailor my waxes to my clients. So I don't wax my clients the same way I wax myself. I wax them the way that their hair is trained. So that's why waxing is, everybody's experience with waxing is different. I try to keep a general way of how I wax everybody, but you know, different techniques for different times. You have some like first timers, you have some people who you know, wax often, you have some people who go to a whole bunch of different people. So, you know, your technique is going to change up. But this is what I do for me and myself. And like I said, for you, you do it the best way that you can get the hair up. And these are like just like tips for like if you're gonna wax on your own at home, is to make sure that your hair is long enough. 1, 2, make sure you have a good wax. The wax that I have is not the best wax in the world. It's just a okay wax that I got off of Amazon, but it works on my hair because my hair is thin. So if you have a thinner hair texture, then you will be fine with something like this. It'll get the hair up. If you have really thick, coarse hair and you've never waxed before, you're going to need to go to a professional first. You're going to need to go to a professional for maybe like 3 or 4 times before you can wax yourself at home, because the wax that is sold online and stuff like that is not thick enough to pick up the thick, coarse hair if you're doing it yourself. Now, a professional could get this type of wax and wax you and know what they're doing. But someone at home who doesn't really know like the technique of waxing, you might want to get your hair out first, because it comes up so much easier when it's thinner. Yeah, so if you're going to try it, I would say only try it if your hair is long enough. Don't go over your skin more than like 3-4 times tops. If you start to feel like irritation and stuff, stop. Like, don't even, it's not even worth it. Yeah, like I have a whole video on like waxing underarms and like waxing in general. It's kind of like about Brazilians, but the same thing that applies for Brazilians kind of applies for the underarm. So if you really want to know like an in-depth way of, you know, how to wax or what to expect, or, you know, just what waxing is in general, then I would say just check that video out on my page. All right, so there we go. My arms are pretty much flawless at this point. Thanks for watching.